bone dry. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are here for our Wednesday night of Week 2, Season 5. We're starting off with
You
the
know, like the on
Prospect
Manfield
League.
Night, how like
We got the
the
Banshees
eggs in the crowd are
versus
like
the
holding
Flurry.
the flags, like the
Excuse me, the
blue
Flurry. Your boy Psychonatic in the
and the
booth,
orange
gonna bring you
flags and
some
shit.
play-by-play action for this first
You know what I'm talking
game,
about?
and I am joined by
Like,
somebody that the
I'll
same
show you
person
in
I
a
was
minute.
joined by last
You
time,
can
somebody
show
that
me,
I
because I'm trying
absolutely
to figure out
enjoy
how
sharing
to
this
find
booth
fucking
with,
Davey's
Blazing
Bills TV.
Dragon. How you doing, my man?
Feeling heartwarmed right now. It's always a pleasure casting with you, Psycho, and I'm excited for Prospect League action today. It's going to be a good one.
I definitely agree there. We got the Flurry versus the Banshees, and this is gonna be quite I don't know if it's going to be interesting or if it's going to be completely one-sided here, Blazing. We got Flurry coming in 3-0, and on the opposite side, we've got Banshees coming in 0-3.
Yeah, that's true. Banshees right now struggling a little bit at the beginning of the season, but it's early. There's always time for adjustments. There's time to get coaching in. There's time to get new players in. So Flurry definitely has the advantage here, but I'm not going to sleep on Banshees. They definitely have that upset potential.
I can't disagree there. Looking at the rosters, though, maybe you can shed a little light on some of these names. I'm seeing on Flurry, we got Dan, which I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking it's the right Dan, he is the GM of that org. And we got local VSCO Lad, which I believe he's resides in Scotland, Alpha 9684, and Cream as the fourth. Do you know any of these guys?
I can confirm Dan is the GM of the Frost org, and everyone knows Alpha. Alpha coming off the motion from last season that ended up making it to the semifinals up against Ascension that inevitably lost to Ascension. But Alpha coming off that roster, very scary for this prospect league.
That sounds pretty interesting. And in the other corner, if you will, Banshees rocking with Flying High, which is a name that a lot of people might recognize. Mobuzz as well. TTV underscore Death Trap underscore, and then rounding out the roster is I'm gonna butcher this name. I apologize. Woo or. How about these guys? You recognize any of these names?
Definitely recognize Flying High. Went up against him a couple of seasons ago, season 3. Definitely a big competitor. I'm looking forward for him to pop off. Mo Buzz, I've heard good things about him, especially from C Money. He's a big voucher for him. And Death Trap, I've heard good things about this guy. Last season, definitely a big part of his roster. And unfortunately, I do not know a lot about War. But I like the name, though. Very unique. I think
Most
it's War.
definitely. War? Is it maybe you're probably right. I'm probably terrible at pronouncing things, but as impressive as any of them might be, I'm not impressed with really any of them right now because none of them are in the lobby. But what do you think? How do you think this is going to go? Because Flurry, they're rocking the undefeated, but they've only dropped 2 games so far out of the 12 games that they've played. Banshees,
That's
on the other hand, have only won 2 games.
It's rather impressive coming out from Flurry. Definitely a well put together roster that Dan has here. But Banshees, they got a lot to prove here going up against this squad. They really had to dig deep within themselves and round out everything that could go wrong, whether that be comms, rotations, all that. They need to come together.
Okay,
But
okay. So we're
if
having a little bit of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just trying to round out my point. If they can come together, I have a feeling they can take a game or two off this Flurry squad.
Okay. I'm interested to see that. Interested to see as we get into it. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a little bit of technical difficulty, so bear with us as we try and get everything ironed out and we can get into this action as quickly as possible. So, Blazin, let me ask you, I feel like you have a pretty good amount of knowledge about what's fixing to transpire on this field. So let me get a prediction from you, my dude.
A prediction. Whew. If Banshees come together and they look good game one, I have to go Flurry here, but I'm gonna push for a game five if Banshees look good game one. If they look cold and they do not look put together, Flurry will absolutely dominate in this series.
That sounds like a good prediction. I'm probably gonna have to agree with you there and give Flurry though. I think Flurry's probably gonna be able to take it in four. Honestly, I'll be surprised if the Banshees are able to even get a game off of them. They've got that sweet, that momentum. Having only dropped 2 out of 12 games, that is impressive. And Banshees, unfortunately, are having to sort of dig their ways out of a grave, if you will, to catch this dub tonight. Not that it's not possible. I believe in pretty much anybody who makes a team here in Nemesis has got something to prove. And we're going to get straight into this action right now as these players join up on the pitch. Hopefully, they've got the same mentality of having something to prove, and we can see some great action. We're going to get into this first kickoff of this best of 5 Banshees versus Flurry. The ball's floating in the mid. It's going to get pushed to the side, back out to the mid. Alpha is going to find the 50 against War. Alpha again in the mid. Out back to War. War is going to take it up the sidewall. He's not able to get it past Local in the midfield. Alpha's up. Is Alpha going to be able to follow it? He's down. Oh, that was close, flying high. Able to get in front of that ball. Local not getting the second touch he needed out of the corner. Dan sending it backwards a little bit. War trying to get it past, but Alpha keeping the pressure for Flurry. Local trying to get a shot on net, but it's going to go wide. Dan missing his touch off of the side. Moba is trying to get it past, but Alpha is just absolutely applying the most amount of offensive pressure right now. And I gotta admit, Blazing, Flurry is impressing me.
They're impressing me as well. Just the presence on their field as Alpha gets a fantastic cut and scores off of the interception in the midfield. What a shot from Alpha.
Nobody from Banshees anticipating Alpha with that mega hit right there. Nobody back to be able to stop that. And Alpha is just being a menace at this point, as he's absolutely been the one keeping the ball in Banshee's defensive territory, applying so much pressure and forcing them to make stops and make mistakes essentially.
Absolutely. Alpha is going to be a major component of this Flurry offense, having so much experience prior to this season. But as a really nasty whiff comes out, oh my. I'm not going to lie, that threw me off my horse.
Unfortunately, we can't win them all, and at the end of the day, this is the Prospect League. Not to take away from anybody's personal ability, but, we're talking about Champ 2 and Champ 3. In comparison, oh my goodness, Dan coming in and finding that center.
Yeah, just absolutely reading all the mistouches coming out, and Alpha gets a fantastic dunk to put it straight mid, Dan with a perfect placement shot.
And that is going to put Flurry up by 2. A little under 2 minutes gone from this game 1. Banshee's going to have to turn something up if they are going to get back into this. Ooh, Flurry almost able to find another one there as it bounces off the backboard. Moba is trying to take a little bit of time there, but Local's going to get in and get a touch. Alpha not able to get Flying High's touch as the ball gets cleared back to Flurry's defensive zone. Local is going to get it taken by War. Moba is able to find the 50 on Alpha, but he goes ahead and clears it himself. Nobody's back from Banshees, but Alpha not able to get to that ball to get the angle. That was a close one. Almost putting the Flurries up by 3 right there as we reach the midway point of this match here, Blaze. It's looking not so hot for Banshees.
It's really not right now. They're just allowing too much space for Flurry to operate. They just get free touches without getting 50'd. But right now they're starting to look a little bit better when it comes to the 50 department. They just need to get these chances together and start winning these half chances.
Trying to win these chances as they are right here, right now. Woohor War, excuse me, able to keep the pressure for the Banshees. The one of the first times we've seen them actually maintain some pressure. Dan trying to get it out. Mobuzz keeping the pressure for Banshees. Local was going to send it to the back wall. He's not able to find it. War going to get in front of it. Flying high, able to get the dunk. War up for it, but Alpha is going to send it out to the side. Local able to get it past the defenders to Dan. Dan puts it just to the side. Flying high is going to go past the ball and not get the touch he's looking for. He's going to put it to the side. War with a soft touch with another one past one defender, but not able to get it past Local. Flying high, almost able to find one, but it's going to hit the post and get sent out. 1 minute left on the clock, and it's looking like Banshees is not going to be able to find what they need here.
No, there's just not enough creativity coming out from them. Every opportunity they have made just comes from the corner, where Flurry's just been easily been able to defend it all. They need to get a little bit more creative if they want to get a goal off of this Flurry squad.
Flurry definitely having some very, very tight defensive rotations in this game, as well as sustained offensive pressure. Pretty much everything that you want to control in a Rocket League game. War not able to find the double touch, just barely going to make contact with the post and miss the net. That is almost a pinch. Oh my goodness. Some flopping in front of the ball there and a missed opportunity for Flurry. Less than 30 seconds and Alpha's going to bounce it off the defender and into the net.
Banshees right here just couldn't get a clear out, and a double commit comes out in the corner. Alpha reads the open net and gets a little bit of help coming from Flying High, just pinch it into the net.
A little bit of help, a little bit of style goes a long way. Last 30 seconds of this match, and Flurry is up by 3. It's looking all but lost for Banshees at this point. And so, Blazing, seeing from your angle of things, moving forward into game 2, what kind of suggestions would you give Banshees if you were their coach or their GM right now?
As a coach, looking at the series so far, I'm going to sit down with my team. I'm going to tell them, like, hey, you need to start getting a little bit more creative. Corner plays are not going to win you this series right now. They have that on lockdown. You need to start going for some infield passes to get the offense going. Defensive-wise, yeah, cut out a couple double commits, get a couple of better clears, and 50 the ball just a little bit better, and Banshees could actually have a fighting chance with this.
That's some pretty good advice to give. And on top of that, they're just getting absolutely dominated in the midfield. Alpha, along with the rest of the Flurries, but I feel like Alpha, I've seen his name a little bit more, was just always ready in the midfield, not allowing any Banshees to get it past that center line.
I'll have to agree with you there. Just Alpha's making his presence known on this pitch. He wants you to feel his presence on the field, and it's going to hurt. You got to get Alpha out of that midfield because he's going to make it hard for you to even come close to getting out of your half.
And I mean, according to the scoreboard, theoretically, if Banshees can get it past that midpoint, get it past the defense, they had almost as many shots as Flurry on net. They just, weren't as accurate, or Flurry just had a little bit better defense for whatever the reason. But that proves that once they get it into the zone, they can get successful shots on net.
Once again, I'll have to agree with you. It's like these guys, they have their chances there. They just got to move the sticks in their favor to get a higher percentage shot.
And we're going to see if Banshees are able to do just that as we're going to move forward into game number 2. Flurry up by 1 in this best-of-5 series. As we get into it, Alpha and War on the first kickoff. Dan off the sidewall is going to send it straight down. Local trying to get there, but he isn't able to make it in time. Flying high with the soft touch, able to get a second, but Alpha's going to take it away from him to Local. Local with the redirect. Nobody from the Banshees in net.
What a infield pass coming out from Alpha. Sees Local towards the side there and puts a perfect placement shot in the top right with no defenders back. That's going in every day of the week.
And if you weren't aware, Local's actually playing on a slightly higher ping than everybody else because he is playing from Scotland right now, and it's probably somewhere around midnight. So the man's turned up for Nemesis. You love to see it. Dan coming off the back wall, going for the double, but MOBA is going to send that one down, flying high, able to get in front of it and send it out. MOBA is sending it down, trying to keep the pressure going. MOBA is again off the side, flying high's up. Can he get the touch? He does, but it goes wide. Local going to take control in the defensive zone. He gets bumped by War. War is going to make the touch, but fake out his teammate in the process. Dan with the pop, trying to make some fancy stuff happen. He's going to go for the demo. He gets the demo, but flying high, able to make that save. Blazing. That was pretty good for Prospect.
That was incredible for Prospect. Oh my, he just bailed him out from the highlight reel. Oh my, what a shot and a half from Dan.
Indeed. And we see now why Flurry is winning the series and winning the game, but flying high said, no, 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 Psycho. Shut your mouth, my boy. And he evens things up.
Banshees get a fantastic clear down the pitch between flying high, and I do not remember who he pinched it with, but sets it up perfectly, caught the defense lacking in a way, and just gets a perfect redirect in.
War trying to keep the pressure for Banshees right here, but Alpha is going to make the stop. Get it into the defensive zone of Banshees, and oh my, he botched that shot, but Local is going to clean it up for him.
Alpha got away with murder here. Thank goodness for him, because he has Local there. Absolutely speedy aerials finishes the play for him.
Just as fast as Banshees were able to even the odds, Flurry came right back and took the lead again. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock. Flurry's 2, Banshees 1. And the game series this is game 2, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Flurries. Dan has been finding those all night, and I think he's going to continue to if Banshees aren't careful.
He really is. Just opportunity created by Alpha. So fast he gets this set up where the defensive Banshees are just not ready and just leaves that top post open.
Flurry now with a comfortable 2-point lead, but War is going to send one on net. Alpha ready for it, makes the save. Alpha out of the corner, not able to find the touch he's looking for, but Dan is there to send it out. Dan able to get it past Flying, able to get the demo on War. Local sends it down to the mid. Flying High able to stop Alpha's shot. Flying High is going to pick up the Savior medal for this game. War gets the pinch, sends it. Flurry Alpha is going to make the stop. Mobuz off the backboard. It guillotines down. Local, though, he's able to stop it and get the clear. Flying High is going to keep the pressure for Banshees. Flying High can't keep the pressure away from Dan there. Mobuz tries to make the stop, but Dan with a huge 50, he is just making it happen.
Dan is on fire. He is toggled. He reads War's jump and absolutely obliterates him on the dunk and just sends it home. What a solo effort coming out from Dan on that play.
He's really been doing a lot of work in both of these games so far. I mean, to be honest, all the Flurry team has been doing really good. They've all been popping and playing really well. It's hard to sort of just talk about one of them. Flying High, trying to stop it, but Alpha is going to send it out. War able to make the stop in his defensive zone, send it to the mid. Mobuz goes up, but a little underneath where he needs to be. Alpha trying to get the shot, but Flying High is going to make the stop. Mobuz off the side is going to double with Flying, but that's okay. They're going to send it down anyways, not get punished for that one. Local was there for another redirect, and we know that he's got those in the bag. Banshee's able to make the stop on that one. Mobuz keeping it from going in front of the net. Dan taking his time. He's going to try a little back pass here to Local. Local's up. He finds the second touch, but War able to make the stop, send it out. Alpha is trying to make the read, almost gets the pre-jump, but no, Dan puts one on. Flying High tries, but he can't get back.
A perfect offensive execution by Flurry here. So much pressure coming out, just leaves. What a shot coming out from Dan. Just so much pressure coming out from Flurry's right now. The Banshees defense just has nothing to counteract this. They cannot clear the ball.
No, they cannot, and that's really unfortunate for them. And whenever they are getting into situations like that, we see the triple come out from Banshees. You hate to see it. So much aggression, and luckily they're not going to get punished for it here, as Flurry is not able to capitalize. War sending it to the mid, but nobody is able to get to it in time before it gets cleared. Mobuz trying to get back. Mobuz going to try and take it off a local, but he can't follow it. War going to try and beat Alpha to the ball. That could be it. Flying high again. Can't. Just barely make the stop there.
Oh, Flying, he tried so hard and just couldn't quite save it. He ends up own goaling it. Again, just the offensive presence and just a lack of defensive rotation from Banshees right now. Just leaving that net open for shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, it's painful to watch. The last 30 seconds of this match, it's 6-1 in favor of the Flurries, 1 point away from getting the Brazil on stream, and that was almost it. But Dan is going to hit the post instead. Mobuz able to get it out from his own defensive corner. War trying to make this touch, but Alpha is going to send it away, pick up a savior medal of his own. The last 10 seconds, this is all but over for the Banshees. And Blazing, let me ask you, Flurry has so much momentum right now, so much, I don't know what other word to use, so I'm going to say momentum again. Do you think that Banshees even have a shot at this point? Can they even get a single game off of Flurry?
It's definitely possible, but from what I'm seeing so far, I don't know if Banshees have the mental fortitude to do so. There's just so much that's going against them right now. It's absolutely hard to say, but if things stay the same way that they are, it's just not going to happen. They need to stop this offense.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. Flurry just putting the aggression on the opponent's net this game. Dan pulling down 10 shots, 4 of which he converted into goals. But at the same time, Banshees, that was a hard loss for them, but Flying High managed to accumulate 7 saves.
It's just the Banshees, they're not losing because of lack of trying. They're just getting outplayed in the midfield, getting outplayed in the boost game, getting outpaced in almost every facet of this last game. So it's hard to root for them, but they just need to find a way to disrupt Banshees. That should be their main goal for this coming up game 3 is disruption. And if they cannot disrupt, it's going to be over for them.
I fully agree with you. And if you are a Banshees fan, right now is the time to send your prayers, send your vibes, send your energy, get all that into the universe for Banshees. They are now looking at match point for Flurry to take the sweep, which means to get the win, they have to reverse sweep at this point. 3 games in a row. This is one of the hardest situations to be in, especially after the 6-1 loss that they had to just go through. So it's all or nothing for these guys, and we're gonna see if they've got what it takes. Local is gonna hit it out of his own defensive zone. The ball's in the mid, sent down to Mobuz. Flying High is gonna send it to the side. Flying High again, but he's not able to beat Alpha to the ball. Local trying to get it past War. He gets it past War, but Mobuz not full. It's gonna send it out. Dan waiting in the mid. Dan misses his second touch. Local's going to put it back. Dan's going to send it to the side. And we not seeing a lot of what needs to be happening from the Banshees here, as they are just basically allowing Local to come in there and get that shot.
Once again, just Banshees unable to clear the ball. Gives an open touch for Alpha that pinging into the middle for a perfect pass for Local to finish it off. who I believe started this play initially by cutting off the pass between two Banshees players.
It seems to be the same song and dance as we've seen in the last 2 games, with Flurry just absolutely dominating with their overpowering aggression. Alpha gonna go for a clip, trying to get that off the back wall, but it's not gonna sink. Moba's missing his touch in the mid, flying high, trying to get it past Local. Gonna make the stop. War with the 50, keeping the pressure for Banshees. That's up the sidewall. Moba's off the backboard. Alpha's gonna send it to the side, and they're gonna get the Flurry's gonna get the clear to the mid. Dan not able to put a shot on the net as it's gonna go wide. War flip-flopping a little bit in the back there. Dan with the big demo, leaving Banshee's net wide open.
And with the high IQ demo play, get an Alpha with the good 50, Local with the shot. All 3 Flurry players in this play. It just pretty much sums up their game plan. All 3 of them coming together and just making great opportunities for each other.
A little bit over 3 minutes left on the clock. Flurry's up by 2. Banshee's still not out of this thing, though. You got to imagine that their mentality is probably fairly broken at this point, and they're probably just wanting this nightmare to end so they can move forward. Moba's sending it out to the mid. Alpha there, ready for it. It's going to send it down to Local. Local trying to get the redirect, but it goes high. Moba's not able to get the touch. War is going to send it up. Flying high's there. He's going to send it to the mid. Moba's trying to get it in off the side. Alpha is going to send it up. Local off his own backboard. War is there, but Local able to get in front of his shot. Flying high with the touch, but it's not going to go in. And we're seeing a little bit more aggression from, actually a lot of bit more aggression from the Banshees here.
Absolutely. There's still some life left in this team. They do not want to go down like this, but just opportunity after opportunity just squandered by inaccuracy right now. They have the pressure. This is their time to swing the momentum.
We're going to see if they're able to as we reach the 2-minute mark. Dan with the shot, but flying high, able to get back in time and make the stop. War off of the corner. Dan off of the sidewall, misses his touch to Local to Dan. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure if that was calculated, but it did happen. Nothing's going to come from it. War not able to find his touch off the backboard. Mobuzz sends it out, gets a save. War sends it to the mid, flying high, is going to side flip past it. Dan trying to get the touch. Mobuzz with the dunk down to Alpha in the mid. Dan's going to send it out. A little bit of a mistouch from him as it gets sent all the way back to his own defensive zone. War not able to find the touch off the side. Flying high in the corner up to Dan. Dan sends it out. Local gets clobbered by Mobuzz there. As Mobuzz gets the touch, it gets sent to the side. Local with the flick past one of the defenders. Can he get to it? He does. It's out to the mid. War misses. Dan's on, and he gets it past the last defender.
Dan reading the mistouch coming out from Banshees here and just sends it home. Mobuzz in the net doesn't expect War to miss this, and he's just completely left in the dust by Dan.
A minute left on the clock. Flurry is commanding this lead 3-0. Looking pretty bleak for Banshees at this point. Trying to get one right there. Almost getting a pinch goal. Would have given them a little steam in their engine, I think. 50 seconds left. Not sure if they're able to come back. Mobuzz with the nice 50 to get the drive down. Him and Ward just a little bit close for comfort in most players' opinions. Flying high. Going to send it out to the side from the corner. Dan is able to get the touch down to Alpha. Alpha's going to send it all the way back to Banshee's defensive zone. Local with a, whoo, my goodness, what a touch coming out from him. Able to get it past the defender. Dan trying, but not able to. Local going to keep the pressure. Mobuzz is going to steal it. Dan gets the touch out to the mid. Alpha's going to put one on, but flying high is there, making another save. Getting a savior medal last 10 seconds, and it's pretty much over for Banshees. The ball only has to touch the floor now, and there it is. Flurry going to walk away the winners with a sweep tonight. Congratulations to them on a dominating win.
Flurry just came out and showed showed everybody why they're 3-0 right now. And Banshees probably questioning what they have to do to make a comeback mentally from this 0-4 now. Wonder how they're going to manage that.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough situation to be in, but I've seen teams in worse situations come back and still make something of a season. So hopefully none of those guys give up and they're able to keep their chins up, just put in the practice, grind the mechanics, do whatever you got to do, get a little bit better, and get ready for next week. But that is pretty much going to wrap us up for this first match of the night. We're going to take a short break here, not very long. And whenever we come back, we're going to be going straight into our second match of the night, which is going to take us into the Challenger League. We got the Flame versus the Tigers. You definitely don't want to miss that. It's going to be a pretty saucy one, I think. Blaze, I'd like to go ahead and thank you and let you know that I appreciate you for coming up in the booth with me.
Absolutely. I love being in the booth with you, Psycho. It's always a great time. I keep saying this every time me and you're in the booth. Definitely one of my favorite people to cast with. So I'm always, always happy to cast with you.
I appreciate that, and that's right back at you. I feel the same way. And everybody out there watching, thank you for your support. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to shout out. Almost forgot this. Big boy Rogue gave, I think, five gifted subs in the chat. So everybody give a shout out to Rogue for all the love he gives here in Nemesis, all the work that he puts in. You are appreciated, my guy. And stick around. Challenger League coming up next.